Welcome to the deep dive. Today, our mission is pretty focused, pretty strategic. We're going to drill down into the CEO's opening remarks from that recent financial call. We're really skipping past the usual stuff and diving straight into the core investment thinking here. You know, the huge infrastructure build out and how AI, artificial intelligence, is basically driving, well, everything, every strategic move globally. And the numbers, well, they really back this up. To kick off the fiscal year, the CEO pointed out Microsoft Cloud revenue hitting over $49 billion. That's a, 26% jump year over year?
Significant.
Oh yeah, 26% is definitely substantial. But to really grasp the scale of commitment here, you've got to look at their commercial RPO. That's the remaining performance obligation. Basically, it's revenue they've already contracted for the future, and that RPO number, it shot up over 50%, getting close to $400 billion.
$400 billion, okay.
Right, but here's the kicker, the analytical nugget for you listening. The average duration, the weighted average duration for that massive $400 billion commitment, it's only 2 years. Wow, only 2 years. That's not just confidence, is it? That sounds like really urgent, almost immediate demand for capacity.
Exactly.
I mean, how fast does AI demand have to be accelerating to get customers to commit $400 billion they plan to burn through that quickly?
It tells you it's a frantic race for compute power, basically.
Okay, let's unpack this. Clearly, the conversation is just fueled by AI demand.
Completely. So the CEO's main strategic goal, as he put it, is building this planet-scale cloud and an AI factory. And the technical objective, it's about maximizing tokens per dollar per watt translation, getting the absolute most efficiency out of the hardware and energy at, well, an unbelievable scale.
And that efficiency focus isn't just about saving money, right? It ties into those tricky global compliance issues. I think I caught a mention of digital sovereignty.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's key. And they're tailoring the infrastructure for specific markets. The CEO mentioned they're helping customers in, I think it was 33 countries, build AI inside Azure specifically to meet local data rules, data residency, digital sovereignty needs. So this factory needs to be global and hyperlocal at the same time. Big challenge.
Which brings us to the scale of the build-out itself. The numbers they talked about for expansion are just huge. Total AI capacity expected to jump over 80% just this year.
Yeah, and it goes way beyond just this year. They're talking about roughly doubling the total data center footprint over the next 2 years. Doubling
the footprint.
To put that in perspective, they gave that example, the Fairwater AI data center up in Wisconsin. It goes online next year, and it's expected to scale up to 2 gigawatts by itself. Just that one facility.
2 gigawatts. That's just an incredible amount of power and space for one site.
Unprecedented, really.
And they're not waiting around to use the newest tech either. They confirmed they've already deployed the world's first large-scale cluster of NVIDIA's GB300s. Now, for listeners maybe not deep in the hardware weeds, the GB300s are NVIDIA's next-gen Blackwell chips, built specifically for these massive trillion-parameter AI models. So it's not just getting bigger, it's getting bigger with the absolute latest, most efficient gear.
Exactly right. And that quick turnover, the constant upgrades, it feeds into what the CEO called the fungible fleet. It's not like a fixed set of machines. It's always being modernized, designed to be used constantly, because it has to handle the whole AI lifecycle, right? From the really heavy pre-training, then post-training tweaks, making synthetic data, and finally running the models for inference, all of it.
And the payoff for all this modernizing should be better efficiency for customers. Did they give any specific examples, like performance boosts that show this strategy is actually working?
Oh, yeah, they did. They pointed to measurable results just in the last quarter. Said token throughput for, I think it was GPT-4 and GPT-5, two really common models, went up by over 30% per GPU.
30% improvement per GPU in 1 quarter. Okay.
Yeah, that kind of quick, measurable gain really validates the massive spending, the CapEx, and all the software optimization work they're doing constantly.
Okay, so building the factory is one massive piece, but you also need the best raw materials, let's say, and guaranteed access. How did the CEO talk about those key external partnerships, especially OpenAI?
Well, that relationship is absolutely foundational to their whole platform strategy. He noted their initial investment in OpenAI has already, quote, roughly 10x'd, which is impressive, but maybe not the main point strategically. The real key takeaway is the contract. OpenAI committed to an additional $250 billion worth of Azure services, incremental spend.
Okay, $250 billion, that definitely ties them together financially. But what about the partnership terms? What makes that relationship stable long-term?
The stability seems baked right into the contract details, designed to keep Azure as the go-to platform. Things like revenue sharing, exclusive IP rights, API exclusivity for Azure. Those terms continue until either AGI happens or through 2030. And the rights to the models and product IP, those extend even further through 2032. So that structure basically gives Azure stable preferential access to arguably the leading AI models for, the next decade or so.
Right. So they're the infrastructure provider for the leader OpenAI, but then they're also making Azure the definitive AI toolbox for everyone else. That's the Azure AI Foundry you mentioned, helping customers build their own AI apps and agents.
Exactly. And it's seeing huge uptake. The Foundry's got 80,000 customers now, and that includes, 80% of the Fortune 500, and developers get access to over 11,000 models. That number was highlighted as more than any competitor offers. Includes OpenAI's latest, GPT-5, but also models from others, like xAI's Grok 4. That model diversity is a big selling point for the platform.
And the examples they gave really show the value, like Ralph Lauren using the Foundry for conversational shopping in their app, personalized recommendations from just talking to it.
Yeah, and the impact in really critical sectors, too, like healthcare. Open Evidence used the Foundry for an AI clinical assistant, helps doctors find relevant medical info, streamlines charting, basically gives doctors back time to actually spend with patients, real minutes saved.
That focus on real deployment, actual minutes saved, leads right into Copilot, doesn't it? Which seems to be spreading everywhere across all these high-value areas. The reach is pretty amazing. 900 million monthly active users engaging with AI features across their products.
Yep.
And the main Copilot family itself, over 150 million monthly active users.
Yep, and that 150 million is showing up directly in productivity gains. You see it in information work, in coding, security, healthcare. Take M365 Copilot first. The CEO said its adoption is accelerating faster than any new M365 suite they've ever launched, growing 50% just quarter over quarter.
50% QOQ. Wow.
Yeah. And it seems to have hit a tipping point. Over 90% of the Fortune 500 are now using M365 Copilot.
And the specific results are what really sell it to businesses, I imagine. Lloyd's Banking Group deploying 30,000 seats and reporting savings of, 46 minutes per employee per day?
46 minutes daily.
Yeah.
And PwC adding another 155,000 seats this quarter, hitting 200,000 total. They tracked 30 million interactions over 6 months and said it saved millions of hours. That's transformational impact.
And that kind of efficiency justifies rolling out even smarter features.
For sure. They introduced agent mode for Copilot, which sounds like it goes beyond just responding to a prompt. It can take a single instruction and kind of autonomously create a polished document or spreadsheet, more like delegating a task. And they also added an app builder for creating simple, task-specific apps just using natural language in minutes.
Okay, shifting over to coding. GitHub Copilot seems to be just dominating. The most popular AI pair programmer, over 26 million users. What really struck me there was the growth trend. GitHub itself growing faster than ever, adding a developer every second. And 80% of new developers jump onto Copilot within their first week. That's incredibly fast market capture.
Yeah, it suggests Copilot is becoming, table stakes for being the developer today. And to handle all this AI development complexity, they're introducing something called Agent HQ. It sounds like it's meant to be the main control panel, the organizing layer for all these different coding agents developers might use from OpenAI, Google, Anthropic, whoever. Make sure everything's compliant, governed, observable.
And the productivity story continues in security, too. Over 3 dozen integrated AI agents now. The phishing triage agent in Defender, that example was stark, making analysts up to 6.5 times more efficient.
Huge leverage. And healthcare, same story. Tangible acceleration. Dragon Copilot documented over 17 million patient encounters. That's up nearly 5x year over year. And over 650 healthcare organizations buying the ambient listening tech. AI is really getting into the clinical workflow.
So obviously the big headline from the CEO was AI, 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 but the underlying cloud platform still needs to perform, right? To feed all this AI with data and basic services, how's the momentum looking in those sort of foundational cloud areas outside the direct Copilot stuff?
Right, good point. If AI is the engine, you still need the fuel. And yeah, the existing platform seems to be providing plenty of high-growth fuel still. In data and analytics, Fabric revenue was up 60%. They call that as faster growth than any other platform in that space. Hit 28,000 paid customers now.
Okay, 60% for Fabric. And databases still need those transactional systems.
Still strong growth there too, especially in the really scalable options. SQL DB hyperscale revenue up nearly 75%. Cosmos DB up 50%. Shows demand for those core high-throughput cloud services is definitely keeping pace.
And gaming wasn't forgotten either.
Nope. Gaming stuff setting records. They mentioned a strong response to the Xbox Ally launch. And the whole gaming division set new records for content and services revenue in the quarter. Oh, and Minecraft hit an all-time high for monthly active users, 155 million. Still growing.
Okay, so let's try and summarize the big message here from the CEO's strategic vision. It feels like AI isn't just, another feature, it's the absolute center, the main engine driving massive investment. Investment in capital, in people, partnerships, and crucially, delivering really big, measurable, real-world results in basically every important sector they're targeting.
Yeah, that sums it up well. And if we connect this back to the bigger picture, those immediate tangible productivity gains we talked about, saving 46 minutes a day at a bank or PwC, saving millions of hours, that's what fundamentally backs up that huge $400 billion RPO number and justifies the mind-boggling infrastructure build-out they need to actually deliver on that demand. The proof is in the productivity.
So that leaves us with maybe a final provocative thought for you, the listener, to chew on. The CEO stressed that they're building this fleet to be fungible, constantly modernized, always riding that tech curve. But given these huge infrastructure deals, the long-term commitments, what does that constant cycle of needing to depreciate old gear, refresh it, optimize it, what does that mean for cloud margins, their stability moving forward, especially if demand for the next generation of models keeps running ahead of their capacity to build?
That's the challenge, isn't it?
Yeah.
Managing technological debt, but doing it at planet scale. Definitely something to watch.
Yeah.
We'll catch you next time for the next deep dive.